Good morning, everybody, and happy, what day will it be for you? It'll be Wednesday. And for me, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday evening. And all this week, we're thinking about all the good things about the fact that it is darker. The nights are darker earlier because we put the clocks back. It's all part of those changing seasons, isn't it, as we go through the year. I wanted to show you something first of all. Can you see outside? You see outside the windows, really, really dark. It's only 5 o'clock in the evening and it's pitch black out there. But just before I go home for the night, I thought I'd record tomorrow's assembly. Now, the thing you need to take extra care with in the darker nights is even when you're walking home from school, it's really good to have something reflective or bright or light or shiny that is going to make you kind of glow up in the dark. If you've got one of our book bags, they've got a reflective strip on them, like a little reflective silver strip, which as the light gets lower, will reflect the light from car lights or street lights, and it'll just make you show up. Because even if you've got a really bright coat, I'll show you mine. Oh, be right back. I'm coming back. So I've got my bright yellow coat that you'll be used to seeing me in the morning, but on its own, it hasn't got anything that is reflective. So actually, it won't show up in the car headlights. So it'll just look dark when it's really, really dark. So obviously, it's one of the reasons why, particularly when I'm working on the road closure, we wear a high-vis jacket. And the bit that makes this high-vis is not just because it is a nice bright orange colour, but also because it has reflective strips sewn into it, so that if I'm doing the road closure in the morning and it's really dark, or it's starting to get quite dark in the evening, that's going to keep me safe, because car headlights will see that reflected in them, and they'll be able to see me. When I go walking, because occasionally when I get home and it's not too late, me and Elise like to just go and walk around the block, just stretch our legs after a hard day's work, and we use these. And if you've got anybody in your family who maybe runs or jogs or exercises outside, when it's nighttime, you might find these quite useful. And you wear these on your arm, look, like this. And I'll just turn the light off. Usually, Elise has the green one and I have the red one. Look how bright these are. I'll just go turn the light off for a second and show you these. Wait. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, it's really dark. Here I come. But don't worry, because here I am, and I can either have just the light on or I can have it flashing like that. And that means that when we're out walking, if I have this on my coat on the side nearest to the road, if I'm walking on the pavement, I know that the cars can see me and they're not going to, imagine that I'm not there. I quite like to have the flashing one. So I need to take these home tonight in case me and Elise go for a walk. I'm just going to put the light back on. So hang on there again. Running over to the light. There we go. Lights back on. So let's carry on our owl story. The owl who was afraid of the dark, because we're learning not to be afraid of the dark. And yesterday he learned, didn't he, that dark was exciting. And there was a character there who talked to him about how exciting it was at this time of year when it's bonfire night. Today we're going to learn from an old lady who's going to teach Plop something else special about the night time. Let's see what she has to say. Plop landed on an old lady with a thump. "Hello," he said. "I've come to ask you about the dark. I want to go hunting with Daddy, but he always goes hunting in the dark and I'm scared of it." "How very odd," said the lady. "Now I love the dark. Dark is kind." Oh, that's an interesting thing, isn't it? "I can forget that I'm old and I can sit and remember all the good times." "Well, I haven't much to remember yet," said Plop. "I'm rather new, you see." "Well," said his mummy, as Plop flew back up to the landing branch. "Well, the old lady, she said dark is kind," said Plop, "but I still do not like it at all." And there he is. I expect he rather surprised the old lady by suddenly landing on her, but she's given him some good advice. That evening, when both his parents weren't hunting, Plop closed his eyes and tried to remember something to remember. Suddenly he heard a happy shout, and Plop forgot about being afraid of the dark. He peered through the leaves and saw a boy sitting by a fire. Plop flew down, landing with an enormous thud. "Hello," said Plop. "I've come to see what's going on." "Well, I'm guarding the campfire," said the boy. "The others have gone to play games in the dark, lucky things." "Sorry, do you like the dark?" asked Plop. "Oh, it's super," the boy replied. "Dark is fun. We're going to make cocoa and sing around the fire. Would you like to stay?" So Plop stayed. The boys sang until the fire had sunk to a red glow. I wonder if you can tell what group of people these boys belong to. If you have a look at the picture. It's a group of boys and girls who often meet up together. Look, they've got neckerchiefs on there and a green uniform. And they often go on camps. I think it's the Cubs or the Scouts. And a group of Cubs or Scouts that Plop's found there. So Plop stayed. The boys sang until the fire had sunk to a red glow. Then Plop said goodbye and flew home. "Well," said his mummy, "where have you been today?" "I met a boy, and he says dark is fun. I still do not like it at all, but I think campfires are super." Plop woke up the next afternoon and went out onto the landing branch. "Plop," said Mrs. Barn Owl, "go and find out about the dark again. See what that little girl down there thinks about it." Plop landed by the little girl with a bounce. "Hello," he said. "I've come to ask about the dark. Do you like it?" "Well, of course I do," said the little girl. I wonder what she's going to say. So far, Plop's been advised that dark is exciting, dark is kind, and dark is fun. I wonder what this young girl's going to say about the dark. "Do you like it?" "Of course I do," she replied. "Dark is necessary. We have to have it. Without the dark, Father Christmas wouldn't come. You'd have an empty stocking on Christmas Day." "Well, I don't have a stocking," said Plop. So the little girl took off her Wellington and gave him the sock. Wasn't that nice? There he is, look. Plop's going to fly back to his mum with his very own stocking. So her point was that dark was necessary. We needed it for Father Christmas. "Here," she said to him, "hang this up on Christmas Eve." "Oh, thank you," said Plop, and returned to his mummy. "Well," said Mrs. Barn Owl, the little girl said dark is necessary because of Father Christmas coming," Plop said. "But I still do not like it at all. But I am going to hang my sock up on Christmas Eve." Plop slept nearly all day, and by evening he was wide awake. "It's getting up time, Daddy," he shouted, butting his father in the tummy. Mr. Barn Owl looked up at the sky. "Not quite yet, Plop," he said. "We wait until it's dark." That night, Plop watched his parents take off to go hunting again. Looking through the leaves, he saw a man standing on the ground below. So Plop flew down, landing with a gentle bump. So tomorrow we'll find out what the man tells him about the dark. I've got my fingers crossed that Plop is going to learn to love the dark, just like those people do, and to realise that the dark is really, really special and to make the most of it. And he certainly has to do that because he's a night bird. Do you remember those two words that I taught you yesterday? For animals that just come out at night, we call those nocturnal. And for animals who really like, I think tawny owls do actually, to come out at the dawn and the dusk, they are called crepuscular animals. So I'm going to take my flashing lights home. I think it's time I went home, don't you? Looking at the darkness outside. And maybe I'll fit in a walk around the block when I get home, just to freshen me up after a hard day's work. But I hope you have a lovely day today on your Wednesday. And I'll see you. We'll finish the book on Thursday's assembly. So have a lovely day and I'll see you soon. Bye.